Hello everyone, welcome to MVP Vishwakosha. Today we are discussing 19 September 2025 current affairs. In that first point, that is recent statement by that is CAV Ananthanageshwaran, okay, about USA tariff and okay, right, recent our tariff disputed in August 2025. United States imposed additional tariff on Indian goods, right? This include penal tariffs 25% for India's continued import from Russian oil, and also reciprocal tariff that goods entering USA from India that were raised, leading to some Indian export getting as high as 50% duty, right? So many Indian industry, textile, engineering goods, etc., are adversely affected. So for that, a recent statement that we Ananta Nageshwaran, right? He said that he expressed optimism that the penal tariffs might be withdrawn by November 30, 2025. Okay. So, and also he expects that reciprocal tariff to be reduced by possibly to 10 to 15% rather than full 25% also. Okay. So, and also he believes that entire dispute, that is penal plus reciprocal tariffs, may be resolved in the next 8 to 10 weeks. Okay. And also he clarified that this is his personal assessment, and also that not based on any formal agreement, though talks are ongoing. So because he is main person who takes care in this economy, right? So in this perspective, his statement is very very important. Okay, Ananta Nageswaran's statement, and also you should know about. He noted that although the expert sectors may feel the direct impact because India has large domestic market, right? Dependence on export in is lower compared to some countries. So the overall economic damage is mitigated somewhat by his structural factors, and also highlighted political and economic stability, and also recent reforms increasing capital formation, etc., as enabling India to better manage the disturbances. Okay. So all that exam perspective, this trade and export, diplomatic and bilateral relations, macroeconomic, external sector stability, policy making and governance, and impact on GDP growth, employment, all that perspective, this statement and all on US tariff and all very, very important. Next point that is about recent European Union India new strategic agenda, that is new strategic European Union India agenda. Okay, so here in European Union recently adopted a joint communication by the European Commission plus the High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, here setting out a new strategy, that roadmap to deepen its relationship with India, and also it is expected to be formally endorsed by all 27 European Union member states. Okay, you should know about that how many European member states. That is 27 European member states end of 2025, ahead of the next India European Union summit early 2026. And also, main goal is to raise bilateral relation to a high level or next level across trade, technology, security, defense, climate, connectivity, etc. So all that perspective, it is very very important, and also in trade, investment, and technology, that finalize a long pending free trade agreement by end of 2025, and also strengthening supply chain, emerging critical technologies, digital issues, and all. And also inviting India to associate with Horizon Europe's, that European Union's research and innovation program, and also defense and security, that will deepen cooperation and all, and also connectivity and global issue, and also climate sustainability in this India, that Middle East European economic corridor, that's very important. Okay, and also talent mobility, people to people, legal institutional cooperation, and also shared priorities, global order, strategic values. Okay, because of this, and also geopolitical, trade and economy, all that perspective, it is very very important. Okay, that is a new strategic European Union India agenda and all. Okay, next point that is recent SEBI, okay, that clinched it to Gautam Adani, that is Adani Group, in the Hindenburg case. Okay, you know, right, Hindenburg issue and all. So in that, you should know about that Hindenburg report in 2023. So that US short seller Hindenburg Research published in January 2023 a report, okay, that alleging serious financial and corporate governance irregularities in the Adani Group. Okay, some major allegations, that manipulation of stock prices, misuse of related parties, and using shell or offshore entities to route funds, and also violation of disclosure of norms, possibly inside trading, hiding debt, etc. Also, the report triggered a sharp fall in market value of Adani Group companies. Okay, because of that, almost US dollar 150 billion drop in market. Okay, so that next what happened means that regulatory investigation, right? That's set up by SEBI, you know, right? Security and Exchange Board of India. Okay, that started looking into the allegation. Key issues under this probe that nature is so-called related party transaction. So whether Adani is used certain private entities, all that, okay, and also root funds in way that should have been disclosed. Whether there was fund diversion, misrepresentation, unfair manipulative trade practice, and all. So in this time period under the SEBI scrutiny was roughly financial year 2018-19 to financial year 22-23. Okay. So in this what SEBI has done recently that SEBI issued a final order into separate cases, ending its proceeding with the respect of interval allegation. So in this main thing that related to party transaction involving in that conduit to entities, SEBI held that transaction between Adani companies and entities flagged were not related party transactions under the regulatory framework enforced at the relevant time. Thus, they did not violate disclosure norms. Okay, and also fund diversion. Also in that SEBI found no evidence of diversion of funds. Okay, and also transaction were genuine inter-bearing loans repaid fully with the interest, and also SEBI concluded that the allegations of insider trading, manipulation, etc., were not established under the laws, and there should no liability, no penalty. For this, Adani's group responses, Gautam Adani welcomed the order, calling it a resounding victory or best, highest quality clean sheet. He said Hindenburg's report claims were baseless and asked for apologies from those who spread false and fraudulent narratives. Okay, and also expressed a regret for investors lost during the period, okay, of turmoil and all. So in this perspective, it is very important that corporate governance, regulations, investor confidence, market integrity, rule of law due process, and also in that interplay of media, short sellers, regulatory institutions, all that socio-economic implication, all that perspective, it is very important. Okay, that is about recent SEBI on Adani Group. Okay, on Hindenburg's report. Next news that is about Rule 49B, okay, that is Conduct of Election Rules 1961 by the Election Commission of India. That rules revised. Okay, so here very important Rule 49B. What is that? Is the Conduct of Election Rules 1961 provide the detailed procedural rules under the Representation of the People Act for how elections are conducted. And also Rule 49B specifically deals with the designing and printing of ballot papers used in the electronic voting machines. And also previously one basic details required: candidate name, symbol, serial number, and photographs of a candidate either not included or in limited monochrome form. And also fonts, size, layout, etc. were less standardized from the voter viability, all that standpoint. And that very important. What is the recent revision in that? As per press release and media report, Election Commission has revised that guidelines under the 49B. Okay, that is make the EVM ballot papers more reliable, voter friendly, and accessible. Okay, so first thing is in that photograph of candidate. Okay, so previous monochrome or small photo sometimes, and less emphasis on visibility. Now color photographs will be printed. Okay, the candidate face must occupy 3/4 of the photo space for better visibility. Next is in serial number, candidate or nota. Earlier serial number may have been smaller, less prominent font, perhaps no, non-bold, etc. Serial number will be now international form of Indian numericals printed in bold font size 30 for clarity. And the name also, font consistency, difference possibility in font type, size among names, less uniformity in previous. Now all candidates names nota will be printed in the same font size and size large enough for readability. Okay, and also in paper quality also, previous standard paper black and white print and all, now printed with the 70 GSM paper for accessible elections. Pink colored paper with specified RGM value shall be used. And also in implementation, old version used across India without this new enhancement. Now changes will be rolled out starting with the Bihar Assembly election. Okay, very important that voter accessibility, identification, and upgradation, and reducing errors, invalid votes, and also election integrity and confidence, inclusive democracy, legal procedure clarity, symbolic message, and all. So all that perspective it is very important. because of that statutory basis, that equality of voting right, administrative law principles, possibility of judicial review, and all that perspective, it is very, very important. Okay, that is about recent news on Rule 49 change by Election Commission of India. Next is news that is about India's statement at the event concerning Afghanistan and terrorists. Okay, so here in India, recently at the event, India had called on the UN and their wider international community to ensure that even designated terrorist groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, as well as their facilitator are not allowed to use Afghan territory as safe haven for terrorism. And also, India emphasized that combating terrorism is of paramount interest. It urged that post-conflict policies towards Afghanistan should include both incentives for good behavior and disincentives for harmful actions. And also, India has abstained in certain UN General Assembly draft resolution on Afghanistan, citing that the business of as usual. And also, approach is unlikely to bring the intended outcomes without more focused, effective, and durable policy instrument. And also, India resolution is that punitive measures alone are insufficient. Okay, and also India's UN permanent representative ambassador, that is Parvaneni Harish, okay, made these points in a statement related to a UN draft resolution on Afghanistan. And also that abstention occurred around that July 2025. The vote of Berlin, Germany introduced the draft resolution on Afghanistan. Okay, very important that sovereignty and security concern and stance on international law and norms, diplomatic positioning, okay, regional stability and geopolitics and all. Okay, all that perspective is very important. UN and international cooperation, all that perspective is very, very important. Next point, that is about swasthnarisashaktparivar abhiyan. Okay, that is launched by the Indian government. Okay, so swasthnarisashaktparivar abhiyan, that is launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, launched in Sashakt Abhiyan, okay, together with the 8th Rashtriya, that is Poshan Maha from Dar in Madhya Pradesh. So that is from 17 September to 2 October 2025. Okay, so that is very important. And also scope, that is how health outreach campaign for women and children, largest ever of kind, more than 10 lakh, that is 1 million health camps to be organized across the country in various government health facilities, including Ayushman Arogya Mandiras, community health centers, district hospitals, etc. And also main objective of this that is Swasthnarisashaktparivar Abhiyan is one is health service and screening, preventive, promotive, and curative health service targeted at women and children, early detection and treatment linkage for non-communicable disease, tuberculosis, anemia, and sickle cell disease, and also screening for life-threatening conditions like cancers and all. And also, next point is maternal, child, and adolescent health, antenatal care, immunization, nutrition, menstrual hygiene, lifestyle, and mental health awareness and all. And also next is that nutrition awareness, emphasis on nutrition, Poshan Ma, healthy lifestyle practice awareness camps, special focus in tribal areas including sickle cell screening, and free cost of accessible tests and medicines will be available free of cost during the campaign period using existing public health infrastructure and facility. And also covering and reach nationwide both rural, tribal, and urban areas, large participatory approach involvement in multiple ministries, health, family welfare, women, child, and development, and also government, communities, health workers, ASHA workers, and ANMs, Anganwadi volunteers, and all. And also special focus on sickle cell disease, handling over 1 crore sickle cell card, national mission for elimination, and maternal support, tied up Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, free service, etc. So all that women health and gender equality, public health, preventive medicine, all that perspective, it is very, very important. Okay, that is about Swasth Nari Sashakta Parivar Abhiyan launch and all. Okay, next point, that is about Pakistan Saudi Arabia defense deal, strategic mutual defense agreement. Okay, so Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, a mutual defense pact named strategic mutual defense agreement. So in this, any aggression against either country shall be considered as an aggression against both. Okay, that is similar like NATO. Okay, so it formalized the deep and long-standing defense security cooperation between the two countries, and also main signatories, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Okay, signed. So significant it is that deal carries multi-layers strategic importance, regional and internationally, strengthening Saudi-Pakistan military alliance, regional to regional actors and shifting security dynamics, and also implications of India and South Asia. India has reacted personally saying it will be study implications. Okay, it will study that implication. There's a possibility of Pakistan having stronger backing from Saudi Arabia may affect strategic calculations, and also it may impact the balance of deterrence in the region, especially where Pakistan involved in issues relating to Kashmir cross-border tensions and all. And also very important, right, in that perspective. And geopolitical messaging and potential nuclear dimension, all that it is very, very important. Okay, and also in this domestic constraint in Pakistan, reaction from other powers, all that, and also implications from India, that strategic deterrence and diplomacy, and military and security preparedness, foreign policy balancing, geopolitics, leverage, and nuclear doctrine implication, all that perspective is very important. Okay, so there is about strategic mutual defense agreement between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. Okay, next news, that is adikarmayogiabhiyan, that is Adi Seva Parv, launched by Prime Minister Modi in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so Adi Karma Yogi Abhiyan, it is an initiative by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, Government of India. It describes it as a responsive governance mission aimed at empowering tribal communities. Okay, on 17 September 2025, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched Adi Karma Yogi Abhiyan from Madhya Pradesh, also launched under its Adi Seva Parv. Adi Seva Parv is a festival of service under the broader Abhiyan turned into tribal areas from 17 September to 2nd October 2025. So main scope is to coverage it intended to be India's largest tribal grassroots leadership mission. Aims to cover 11 crore tribal citizens across 1 lakh villages in all states and union territories. Main objective to strengthen responsive governance in tribal areas, build leadership among tribal communities, tribal grassroots leadership, connect tribal with the government schemes, and as part of its Adi Seva will focus on service-oriented activities in tribal regions, including health, education, nutrition, skill development, livelihood enhancement, sanitation, water conservation, and environment protection. Also, that Seva Parva runs from 17 October to that 17 September to 2nd October 2025 in tribal areas. Okay, all that is important, that empowerment of tribal community, responsive governance and decentralization, holistic development policy and continuity and targeted focus, symbolic, that is political significance, all that better utilization of government schemes and all that perspective, it is very, very important, and tribal welfare and all. Okay, that is about Adikarmi Abhiyan and all. Okay. Next point, that is about recent Thailand Cambodia border issue again. Okay, so that is long-standing border dispute, right? Thailand and Cambodia, very important for exam perspective. Shared dispute border region, especially around like the Previari, that region, and the dispute largely stems from colonial era maps on 1900s and Francis Symons maps. Okay, different interpretation of the which territory belong to which country. All that ICJ court made a ruling 1962 regarding Previari temple, but other areas remain ambiguous and contested. In this recent escalation clashes, that Thai and Cambodia soldiers exchanged fire, Cambodian soldiers were killed, all that, you know, right? So in recent latest development is September, that Thai security forces used tear gas, rubber bullets, and acoustic device against Cambodian village protesting erection and wire barriers in a disputed border areas, and okay, around 23, Cambodians were injured. And Cambodian claimed Thailand used excessive force and violated the ceasefire. Thailand claims its forces were responding to provocation and encroachment. Also, very important that diplomatic and political fallout, that both sides have lodged diplomatic protest. Cambodia has called for international support. Thailand claims its protest invaded and trespassed. Okay, border crossing, trade, import bans, media contest bans, etc. have used as tool of pressure. Okay, and also territorial integrity and sovereignty, regional stability and security, people on border, diplomatic relations, soft power nationalism, international law and conflict resolution mechanism, implication for trade, tourism, cross-border cooperation, geopolitical strategic alignment, all that perspective, it is very, very important. And challenges and what makes resolution difficult, that ambiguity in boundary demarcation, mutual acquisition and provocation, national sensitivities, lack of mutual trust, international jurisdiction and dispute mechanism, and effect of terrain demographics, all that perspective, that Thai-Cambodia border dispute is important. Next is about last news, that is recent phone call between India's PM Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Nepalese interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki. Okay, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a telephonic conversation with the Sushila Karki, in the interim Prime Minister of Nepal. So this was their first conversation since Karki became the interim Prime Minister on 12 September 2025. During the call, Modi congratulated Karki on her appointment and expressed India's steadfast support for her government effort to restore peace and stability in Nepal. Karki said that election will be remain the topmost priority for our interim government. with a strong determination for accountable, responsive, and corruption-free government, reflecting the aspiration of that youth, especially Gen Z, who are central in the recent protest. And so Modi also conveyed condolences for the recent tragic loss of life in Nepal during the protest. He extended greetings on to Nepal their national day, and Kargi also issued on Modi's 75th birthday. And also Nepal has had a large protest, right? All that Gen Z, very important. Also PM KP Sharma resigned, right? And also President Nepal has with input from constitutional expert and army chief appointed Sushila Kargi as interim prime minister, and general election will be Nepal held in 5th March 2026. All that diplomatic signaling and support importance of youth and public sentiment election is key priority. Regional stability and Indo-Nepal relation, balancing foreign policy, all that perspective, it is very, very important. Okay, that is about recent Sushila Kargi, interim prime minister of Nepal, and Narendra Modi's phone call talk and all. Okay, so there is about 19 September 2025 current affairs. Thank you. Support me for further videos so that I can analyze all the topics required for UPSC and all competitive exams. Thank you.